podcast.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
podcast.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get to the Podcast. I'm Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
You weren't ready for that.
Your name?
I wasn't ready. That was
Nah,
like
the
a
way I
very
did it.
Do it again, Nick.
I really performed it.
Yeah, that was like a performance.
One more time. Give it to him one more time. Nick.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
Wait, that was terrible. Mine was
that
bad.
was
It felt forced. Let's try it again.
I'm Diego D'Souza.
Nick Gambino.
That didn't work. All right, you guys are failing it right now.
I feel like you're tipping your top hat to me. That's what
I
I
am.
That's probably what you
Morning,
do.
sir.
Yeah. He's doing that visually.
G'day.
Hey everyone. All right,
Hey, you
so
down there, lad.
today we're going to talk about some unconventional Christmas films or holiday films, not Christmas. Some holiday films that are
Christmas.
Well,
Put the
but
Christ
no,
back
holidays.
in miss. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, let me start this over and take that one.
I'm kidding.
Christ Mass.
All right.
Christ Mass.
Reindeer games.
All right, everyone. We're talking about some unconventional Christmas films that you might not think it's holiday film to watch, but it actually is.
Yeah, okay, because you have your normal ones, like you'd be like, Christmas Vacation,
Yeah.
or maybe Love Actually,
Scrooged.
Scrooge,
Home Alone. Home Alone
2.
Yeah.
There's so many Christmas
White
movies.
Christmas,
Black Christmas,
Black
Black Christmas. I don't want to say anymore because that's gonna make me sound bad.
No, there is a Black Christmas.
I
It's a
know.
horror movie.
Yeah,
About a serial killer murdering young girls on Christmas.
Jesus.
In case you didn't know.
Well, that should be on our list then. No, but we're gonna do movies
It's
today.
not
that,
a good movie.
We're gonna do movies today that aren't conventional. When you think of them, you don't go, "Oh, that's a Christmas movie."
Yeah.
Correct.
But they are holiday or Christmas themed. Like there is an element of it within the film.
Yeah, Christmas is tied into it.
Exactly. So you could watch it in the Christmas
The
season.
holidays.
The
Yeah.
holidays.
Christmas. It's holidays.
The holidays,
Holidays.
yeah.
Listen, it's all inclusive. Christmas is a commercial concept, and it's all inclusive.
Yeah, it's weird. How do you... Yeah, I will just say holidays.
Yeah. Whatever. Christmas holidays.
Would you say Dreamcatcher is that?
Are you still?
No. I mean, it takes place. It's like it's like snowing and all that, but
Okay.
it's not.
Let's
There's
do The
no.
Shining
There's
then.
no mention of
Let's do
Christmas.
The Shining then.
This is Shining, yeah.
Yeah.
If
There's no
it
mention.
has snow, it's during the seasonal.
I mean, I always watch The Thing during Christmas, but that's just
Right.
me. You know.
Okay, but the thing is, what we want to do is we want to do films that are Christmas themed in some way that you may not be thinking of, and they would be appropriate to watch during the Christmas season or on Christmas Day if you wanted to make sure that your entertainment had Christmas in it.
Yeah, and all the Harry Potter movies. Not all of them, but most
Some
of them
had
have
Christmas,
mentioned
yeah.
of. We should actually clarify do we say Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas?
I always say Merry.
I'm going to start
always-
up on a
I say
happy.
Merry.
You don't want it.
Oh,
You don't want it.
Mary. I'm with Mary. Yeah, don't.
Happy Christmas.
Hey, Merry
sounds-
New Year.
It sounds natural though,
It
right?
sounds like
No,
a drunk
doesn't.
band solution.
Like
to-
Christmas is
Exactly.
You know,
It sounds like somebody that's been on heroin said to me, "Happy Christmas."
this is literally
Merry
all British
Christmas.
people say
Merry
this.
New
They
Year.
don't say Merry Christmas.
Okay, well,
they
I-
say Happy Christmas.
Well,
We have to be different, don't we? We had
do.
to change it to Merry.
We're not British anymore.
Who's Merry anyway?
All
I
right.
don't know.
Fucking Christmas.
No, don't say that. Okay, Merry Christmas is just I love the traditional
Christmas is
elements
good.
of
Not
Christmas.
Mary, but Merry.
Did we really need to clarify that?
I figured I should clarify.
Okay,
it.
cool. All right, but let's start off talk about some of these movies.
Yeah, what you got?
What do we got? Well, let's just start off and get this out of the way quick because I know people are already thinking about it. We could feel your thoughts. Okay, stop thinking so loud, audience.
Wait, am I gonna figure out what this is?
Die Hard.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's the age-old
It's
question, you know.
it's in my top 10 Christmas movies.
I mean, it's the age-old question. Like, is
It's when
it
you-
a Christmas movie?
Yeah, but it's one of those movies like you want to watch during Christmas because it takes place during Christmas and there are Christmassy elements. You know, ho ho ho.
It's on Christmas
Now
Eve.
I have
A machine gun.
machine
Which,
gun.
by the way, I
Ho,
almost got. I was
ho.
gonna get you that sweatshirt actually for Christmas, and I was like, you don't want to walk around.
Wait,
with
do they have a sweatshirt
Yes,
that says ho ho
they have the
ho?
whole. They exactly
Oh.
written the same way, but I don't want to give it to you because you don't want to walk around with a shirt that says "Now I have a machine gun."
Especially with this beard.
Especially
and
with
the
this
skin
beard.
color.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you said it. I didn't.
I'm just keeping it real.
Give it 100. All right, but the thing is, Die Hard. This is that age-old question: is it a Christmas movie?
It is.
and the answer is it is.
It is because
Yeah.
it's a Christmas
And
party.
anybody who disagrees,
Oh, they came out with a Christmas book, like an actual Die Hard animated child's
Yes.
story book that's like the story
What?
of John McClane,
Yeah.
and it's like the events of Die Hard, but it's like a Christmas book for children.
comic book almost. Isn't it?
Thanks for doing
Amazing.
that.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
definitely.
it. It looks amazing.
But the movie is it's on Christmas Eve. There's so many Christmas elements in it. The ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun with the Santa hat on it. It's the kids aren't they decorating the tree? There's
a scene where
the kids are decorating
kids
the tree.
Yeah.
and they basically bust up and take everybody hostage at a Christmas party. So
Right.
it's all very Christmas. But you look at it and you go,
Everybody's
oh,
doing blow. That's very Christmassy.
white,
my
it's white as a pure driven snow. You know,
my
so
gosh.
it's basically like
That's the snow that falls in L.A.
they don't have
apparently.
that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh
In
my
the
God.
80s. John Boy.
Right.
Elliot. Was it Ellis? Ellis.
Ellis.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That piece of
I
shit.
love his character
Hey.
though. Hey.
Hansi, Hansel, Hansi.
Hans Boomy. I'm your
Hans
white
Boomy.
knight.
I'm your
I love
They're doing
it.
like cocaine like
Hey.
all over his nose.
I make what he goes. I negotiate $1 million deals. With for breakfast, and he goes, "What?" It's like I know how to negotiate with this Euro trash.
right.
I love his character. He's such a piece of shit.
Then he gets fucked.
Oh.
Anyways, but it is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It ends with the weather outside
Is
is
frightful.
but the fire is
fire
so
is so
delightful.
delightful.
And then Die Hard 2 takes place in Dulles. At Dulles Airport
Yeah.
here in
DC.
and DC, and
on
they end the
Christmas,
same thing. They end
and
it, yeah,
and it's actually snowing in that one.
yeah. The
Yeah.
only one I think that I guess all the rest like 3, 4, and 5 don't take place during.
No.
They don't, and
No.
it's definitely the first two. I always feel like the first two are their kind of own films, and then the
Yeah.
third one onwards just kind of really.
I love
went
the
different.
third film,
No,
though. Yeah.
I actually love the fourth one. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
something
I
about
also
it.
liked
I
it,
really
yeah.
enjoyed it, and he goes back to DC actually for that one. But they are very different. Whereas the first two feel.
Are you talking about the most
similar.
recent one? The one.
No, Live Free or
No.
Die Hard is not. The last one was Die Hard Another Day, which takes place in Russia. Which when I
Correct.
saw it,
That
in
was with his
theaters-
son, with
yeah,
that
his
the
son,
guy
yeah.
that played. He's been blowing up now.
Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney, yeah.
I actually, I liked that one when I saw it in theaters, but there's something about seeing a movie in theaters. For me, I enjoy it more. So I did enjoy it. I was entertained by
Yeah.
it, but it was definitely the weakest of the whole lot. But the third one's good. Anyways, the first one is definitely takes place on Christmas. And the second one does as well. But the first one feels even more Christmassy because they are at
And it's
a
snowing.
Christmas party.
Correct,
Like,
yeah.
It's not snowing in the
Oh,
first
I'm
one.
sorry,
Snowing
the
in the second one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which does help with that element of it. But the first one is at a Christmas party. There's a lot, there's Santa hats and shit, so it just feels more Christmassy.
Yeah.
Although in the second one, when he gets into the cop car with Dennis Franz and his cousin,
Dressed like-
Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas.
And he gives him the ticket, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey man, it's Christmas."
That's
and then
right.
he's like it's like a piece of shit the whole movie.
That's
He
right.
said
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Neil.
He says Merry Christmas
says-
in the beginning when he gives him the ticket, and when he gets in the car later.
Not happy
and then at the
Christmas.
end, what do you say, Marv? I'll be damned if I'm gonna clean up this mess. Remember the janitor guy?
yeah. He was great.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great film.
Anyway, so that's
It is a really
So I
good,
think we should just
solid
get that out on
movie.
the table. We're gonna solve this for everybody who's ever had this question. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Do you only want PG-13 family, friendly?
Get
fun?
down and dirty on Christmas.
Yeah.
There's
the
a lot
holidays.
of
Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun. Like
yeah,
that's just what it is.
yeah.
You know another film, great film with Michael Keaton, Jack Frost.
Jack Frost.
Jack
Oh yeah, that was a good
Frost.
one. That was a
That
good
was a
one.
good
Which is a Christmas movie.
That's
is a
very
Christmas-
Christmas.
And there's
Very
another
Christmas.
great Michael Keaton movie that takes place during Christmas.
Okay, now this is going to be more in line with what we're talking about, which is
Yeah.
non-conventional. Because Jack
Yeah.
Frost is conventional. This one is different. What is
Batman
it?
Returns.
Batman Returns. Yeah.
You
Tim
wouldn't
Tim Burton's Batman Returns
Yeah.
with Danny DeVito playing
Christopher
Michelle
Walken,
Pfeiffer.
Christopher
Michelle
Walken,
Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Great movie. I feel like a lot of people were turned off by the movie when it came out because it's actually a really dark fucking
It's a
movie.
very
It's
dark.
dark.
Yeah. What happened with Copper Pot? It's just crazy.
Yeah, the first one's dark, but the second one definitely feels darker.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way darker.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fact that the parents just like dump the baby in the river, and then they're just like he's just too deformed and mutated.
Yeah.
Like we can't kill him.
just get rid of
We're
him.
just gonna hope nature takes over for us.
He's a solid like Danny DeVito did a great job. Like he's as that character,
Yeah.
where he's just a deformed human. He's not actually a penguin.
And Michelle
or-
Pfeiffer, like in the beginning when she plays Selena Kyle, and
Yeah.
she's just this like total
incredible.
wussy, getting pushed around by
Yeah.
everybody, and then she gets literally shoved out of a window,
Oh my
like
God.
80
By
floors
Christopher
up
Walken.
by Christopher Walken,
yeah.
and then falls splat. And then the cats come. Like I don't even know how they shot that scene where there was like 100 cats just like nibbling
nibbling
on
at her fingertips.
Yeah,
and
there's no CG. This is
Yeah.
like real cats chewing on, Michelle Pfeiffer
Yeah.
or biting
Yeah.
on her, licking her, or whatever the fuck they were doing. I don't
Yeah.
know.
What's interesting is that was kind of the only supernatural element in
The 9 Lives.
God, really, in any of the Batman films, if you think about it. Definitely the Christopher Nolan ones, but even those first 4. Oh, I guess Poison Ivy shit was definitely supernatural in the 4th one. The 3rd one, Tommy Lee Jones.
And Bane.
Riddler had that thing with the brain thing. I guess whatever, but that 2nd one was the first, because the first movie, there's not really any supernatural shit with the Joker or anything like that. The 2nd one...
I mean, he fell into a vat of stuff. And
Yeah, but he didn't get any superpowers. He just got fucking deformed and fucked up. That's all that happened. He just happened to live through it, and he got messed up. And he went to that plastic surgeon, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And the guy was trying to, like, fix up his smile and everything in his face. But the 2nd one with that Catwoman thing was the first real supernatural element, I think, entered into the Batman films.
And it ends. Remember how it ends?
Yeah, she's up on the
Where
thing.
he like looks up and it's snowing and he's like, "Merry Christmas, Alfred," and he's like,
Oh,
"Merry
yeah.
Christmas,
Yep.
Mr. Wayne,"
Mr.
or whatever.
Wayne, yeah.
And then the camera just like moves away and pans up to the like top of like the skyline of Gotham,
perch,
and then
and
you
she's
see,
perched.
you see the moon, and then all of a sudden like her silhouette.
Yeah.
because you thought she was dead.
And it was cool because you were like, oh, is she going to come back?
yeah. And then Tim Burton got booted from the franchise.
Yeah,
I
and then
guess.
Joel Schumacher took over.
Yeah, ruined it.
Batman Forever was fine. It was Batman and Robin. He just shat the bed with it.
Oh my God.
He did.
Batman Forever was fine.
No, Batman Forever was decent. It was decent. It wasn't like as good as the earlier ones technically, but no, I mean Tommy Lee Jones did a fucking terrible job. I hated him as Two-Face. It's so over the top. It's so just, and apparently he was like the whole time in the film he's like, what am I doing?
He
Why
went.
am I
I
doing
think
this?
that. Well, I don't want to go into a whole Batman.
He
thing,
did
'cause
very.
We can go into a whole
That's true,
Batman.
that's true.
thing.
Let's get off it.
Yeah. So what else do we got?
Okay. So what else do we have? We have. So we did. Let's talk.
Unconventional.
Okay. I mean, Trading Places.
Yeah.
You can
That's
kind
a
of
good
do
one.
that.
Yeah.
Because Trading Places does take place in the snow of Philadelphia, and they're in the Christmas season.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Dan Aykroyd comes in and, he ends up crashing that Christmas party and he's like completely drunk off his ass and has the dirty beard and he's dressed as Santa Claus and he's shoving the salmon and the fish in his jacket. And,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
oh, it's so nasty. He takes a bite of the fish through his beard.
And this is the guy that was like a fall from grace situation.
Oh my God, he was
and
this
then-
rich yuppie guy. I love this movie. John Landis directed it. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, Jamie Lee Curtis.
First time, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
right.
It was in Scream. I'll just bring that up because it was in Scream.
Oh, they mentioned it.
They mentioned that
Trading Places. Did they?
They mentioned Trading Places because they're having this conversation about
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis getting nude on camera. And
Oh,
he
they
brings
mentioned
up Trading Places in Scream,
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
which is a total weird scene, I think, in Trading Places.
It
That
is-
whole scene makes no sense to me.
It
I'm like,
really doesn't.
You didn't need this at all.
I mean, she was a prostitute, so I think they were trying to show that she was comfortable sexually, and she was kind of like she was entering that boundary.
I feel like
part.
that made the movie rated R when they could have made it.
There was a lot of curse. There was a lot of nudity in that movie. It wasn't just her. In that scene where he brings everybody back from the party and those girls. Get
felt like-
naked and
Oh,
start
yeah,
dancing
yeah.
around.
I feel like I
Or
should have done a
how about
better
the-
job
how about the
remembering
scene
this
where
movie.
He goes, "What, to my bedroom?" And he walks upstairs, opens the door, and she goes,
those-
"I've been waiting for you, Billy Ray. Get your clothes on." But anyways, that scene with Jamie Lee Curtis, though it feels kind of like, oh, why is she doing that? I mean, she has a gorgeous body, but why she's doing it? She kind of goes. You get this idea. He goes, "You're a prostitute," and she goes, "I'm talking about a business proposition, Louis." And then she says, "By the way," and she takes off her top, and he's just staring at her, and she looks at him through the mirror, and then she turns around, puts her hands over her breast to cover them, and she goes, "By the way, food and rent aren't the only things around here that cost money. You sleep on the couch," and she closes the door with her foot. So, like, the idea is she's trying to go, yes, I'm like a prostitute. I'm like obviously open sexually.
I wish I
but
had brought this.
But you're not getting this. This has nothing to do with Christmas, but I need to clarify the scene.
I'm just like.
Neil's like, wait, I missed this?
I like baited you, and then we went into like a half an hour talking about Jamie Lee Curtis's breasts. I love it.
You are the
I love
master
it.
baiter. Okay?
I just derailed this
You
whole
are the
Christmas.
master
Gosh.
baiter.
Well,
Okay.
Christmas is about breasts, so
It's so not.
that's not.
Okay, well, let's
Chris
move
Pratt.
on for the next one.
Chris Press. Anyways,
Yeah.
the whole point is there's definitely a Christmas theme throughout the movie. It
Yeah.
ends on New Year's, actually.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I mean the last scene isn't New Year's, but like the whole thing where they Even the whole stock market scene isn't New Year's, but they get the briefcase or whatever.
I have a yeah.
They get the whole thing on the New Year on the train with Jim Belushi as the gorilla and everything. The gorilla, Al Franken and Tom Davis. Yeah,
yeah. I have a film for the holidays, but because of this whole conversation, I don't want to bring it up right now. So I want
to Chris Bress.
No, Strange Days.
Oh, yeah, that's a good movie.
That's good.
Catherine Bigelow, Ray Fiennes,
Ray
Angela
Fiennes,
Bassett, Juliette Lewis. That Tom Sizemore.
Phenomenal
That is a
film.
really good movie. Very dark.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Extremely dark.
Strange days.
Extremely
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
Does that take place in Christmas?
It takes place on the holidays, so
That
New
almost
Year's.
has like a
It goes.
Oh,
It
yeah.
ends in New Year's Eve.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
that movie is very brainstormy. I don't know if you ever
It
saw
is.
Yeah.
It's very
Brainstorm.
psychologically like different.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Christopher
yeah.
Walken. Yeah.
Right.
So-
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know that I would put straight, but I guess I'd have to rewatch it to see if there's that Christmas element in it. Because I feel like
It ends in New Year's Eve.
Because-
so the whole event.
I remember
happened
ending
through
on
the
New Year's
holiday.
Eve. Yeah. Okay. That's different. Yeah. Because for instance, we could have put like something like Deadpool that has like a 3-second Christmas scene.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to
Yeah,
put that in
no.
the movie because on our list because that's just sort of like just because something's mentioned or there's a little glimpse of Christmas that doesn't necessarily.
No,
make it.
it's
these
like-
movies we're talking about have like Christmas weaved into them. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
know,
the
a
scenario,
Christmas-
and
yeah.
if you watch it, it's basically like New York City and during the holidays and ends in New Year's Eve.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on. I was like, while we're on the subject of Christmas, which that's all we're talking about, really.
Yeah.
These are like
Uh,
unconventional
Yes.
Christmas movies.
So now that when we were talking about Die Hard before, here's another movie people don't talk about often enough is Lethal Weapon.
Which is interesting because it starts with the Christmas.
Yeah, that whole
I was just talking about. Yeah.
that scene where it literally starts with Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock, and it's that
Cocaine
area-
is involved.
Yes, again,
Yep,
it's
so
pure
much
white,
cocaine.
pure driven snow.
That LA cocaine, that
white
LA snow.
lines, pure as the driven snow running through my mind. Anyways, there's that aerial LA scene, right?
Yeah.
And Jingle Bell Rock is playing, and then it goes into that high rise. Fucking penthouse window, and that woman's laying there topless, and she does cocaine, then she jumps out the fucking
More naked women.
jumps out the back. Yeah, well, that's the
He's
thing.
just-
Anyways, that was
welcome to his holiday feelings.
Listen, I saw that movie when I was really young, right? And I watched
you
that movie
did.
over and over. I watched that movie really young.
Paper towel?
That was okay. Really young, you piece of shit. Too young for that. So, but that movie got in my head like Jingle Bell Rock was only associated with that movie for the longest time for me. So it always had this negative, dark connotation.
A lot of paper towels were associated with that movie
I was
for you too.
I was literally
right?
like 5 or 6, you piece of shit.
Well, starting young.
Oh my lord!
Anyways,
Anyways,
it's funny. It makes
but-
me think like a lot of the songs from Home Alone I associate with Home Alone, but in Home like Christmas and Home Alone.
Yeah.
But
But I
like a
think
lot
a
of those
lot-
songs I heard as a kid.
I think a lot of holiday songs.
I never heard it before Home Alone. Yeah.
I think a lot of holiday songs you will flash to a film.
Yes, I think
there's-
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I think so. But so Lethal Weapon. But the thing is, Shane Black, who wrote Lethal Weapon, always puts Christmas in his films.
Yeah.
All the movies he writes or directs in some way have Christmas in them. Lethal Weapon.
Another one's Kiss Kiss Bang
Bang,
Bang.
which
How
is
about
all
place
kind
during
of Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she even dresses up like a Santa kind of thing when they go and
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, all right.
How about
she
this?
does.
How about this song?
Yeah.
How about this song? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be. All right,
This
the
is
other
not
people.
Christmas, by the
wait,
way.
wait.
No.
The other
I'm
people.
waiting for
yeah,
it
it
to
is. Yeah, it is. The other
associate
people.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh.
New Year's. Oh, Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Come on,
yeah.
there you go. See, I know I'll
that's
get
one.
you there.
Yeah. So Gremlins. Well, let me finish Lethal Weapon real quick. I just want to say 2 things about that real quick as to why they're Christmas movies. Beyond that Jingle Bell Rock in the beginning,
Yeah.
that whole scene where you first see Mel Gibson, you first see Martin Riggs, and he's doing that cocaine deal with those guys, and he snorts
too
the
old for
cocaine.
this shit.
Yeah.
No, that's Murtaugh.
That's Murtaugh.
Riggs.
Oh, Murtaugh.
Yeah.
Wait,
I haven't seen
Murtaugh.
this song.
Oh my lord.
Wow.
Okay, let me-
and then Mel Gibson has that Australian accent, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's always sunny.
G'day.
No, but that scene where you first see Martin Riggs, you first see Mel
Yeah.
Gibson, and he's doing that drug deal with those guys, and he snorts some of the cocaine, and he starts acting like the Three Stooges, and he ends up with a big shootout with them.
Yeah.
They're doing it in a Christmas tree lot. Where Christmas trees
Oh,
are being
oh,
sold.
yeah,
right,
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And then in the end of the movie, he's invited in for like Christmas dinner or whatever.
You know what's
with the
interesting?
family.
As a child, I remember watching Lethal Weapon, and I didn't like it as much as Die Hard because Die Hard like doesn't like throw Christmas. They don't like somehow make Christmas like I don't know how to say it, but like Like
theme?
Lethal Weapon, I feel like used all these things
As a
about
device.
Christmas as a device. Like I just every time as a kid, we would go pick up a Christmas tree, I'd be like, oh, there's going to be a shootout. Like you would associate as a child these these things you wouldn't like think them through. But like in Die Hard, it was like they were at the top of a Nakatomi Plaza, which I'd never been in like a 50-story building before as a kid. So it was so unreal that I was like, oh, I was okay with the Christmas element in that film. But like Lethal Weapon, they end up in their house at the end. Like their house, like Riggs's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like whole violent scene, and I'm just like,
Wait, what do you mean? You mean on the front lawn?
what
With Gary Busey?
Gary Busey?
And
Yeah.
the fight on the front lawn. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm like, Gary Busey's like this CIA killer guy
Yeah.
or whatever. He was one of these guys you didn't want to be connected with. You
Yeah.
know? As a kid, I was like aware enough to be like, yeah, I don't want to live
Yeah.
next to some guy who's like some CIA assassin or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
You know? But I don't know. It's just I had a negative association with
Okay.
Christmas as a result of that film.
Oh, okay.
When I had a positive one with Die Hard for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't
no
understand.
sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. at
Yeah.
all.
But I get it. It was different. It was very different.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was far and
I think
away.
it was
the
the
bad guys
location.
felt
It was-
bad.
it was far away.
Yeah, because like in
The bad
Lethal
guys
Weapon,
felt
they're
better.
at home. They're
Yeah,
at their home.
that's
you
true.
know, and like in Die Hard, they're never at anyone's
Yeah,
home.
they don't.
It's
It
all
doesn't.
in
It
this-
doesn't cross
It's
that
in a commercial
line.
building. you
Also,
know?
Don't open the door, mommy.
Yeah. For me, the bad guys in Lethal Weapon felt badder. Like it was a darker movie.
it was way darker.
It's darker.
yeah.
You have like the whole drug
And you
elements
actually
of it.
liked
Yeah.
Hans Gruber, and you
Totally,
liked
it's great.
that,
and,
the bad guys.
that Russian guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, but then Shane Black, he puts it into all his movies. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys, but Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, also has that whole Christmas element.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you were saying Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Gremlins
Both
is
of them.
absolutely a Christmas movie. Yeah, both
Yeah.
of them. But the new batch, Gremlins 2, the new batch. But let's just talk about the first one.
The first one was
The first
Definitely a
movie
holiday
is
film.
absolutely a holiday
Yeah.
film. It takes place in a suburban town, a little town. It's snowing. He doesn't get it for Christmas, but he gets it during the Christmas
He gets it-
holidays. And
Yes,
I think it
from
ends on
his-
Christmas Eve or Christmas morning or something like that. There's Christmas lights everywhere. There's Christmas
Yeah.
trees.
and the town itself looks so Christmassy, but so secluded.
It's very
yeah,
Mayberry.
it's very
Maybe Castle
Mayberry.
Rock. Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
much a
it's
small
small town, and there was the
Oh.
bar where everybody had their Christmas, drink, go out there, and all the
Yeah.
guys were drinking.
And everybody knows each other, and-
Everybody knew each other. It was
Yeah.
very homey feel, but it was actually a very dark film.
It's a dark
I mean,
film.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
Gremlins are nothing to mess
They-
with.
There's a
Yeah.
film I just came across.
I'm talking
I don't know if either
Can
of you
I
guys have
finish
seen
talking
this.
about
Oh, yeah,
Gremlins?
yeah.
Why can't we talk about Gremlins?
All right. I do want to talk about Gremlins.
Film.
Because Gremlins, it was
Okay.
actually
It's a
produced
good
by,
movie.
it was
Produced
produced
by
by Steven
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Yeah.
Oh,
Steven
real
Spielberg,
quick. So, the Miragwai or whatever, right? They're called the Miragwai.
Miragwai. Yeah, I think
Miragwai,
I'm
yeah,
right.
that's the name of the
Yeah.
creature. There's only one in the beginning, and it's
Correct.
Gizmo.
Yeah,
right?
Gizmo, yeah.
Gizmo.
But if
I
you
just
get
remember
wet-
what's her name from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Phoebe
was
Cat,
in that.
Phoebe Cates,
Yeah.
Phoebe Cates, yeah. But real quick, the
I'm trying to derail you.
I know. all right,
What is your job
Do you
right
remember
now?
Fast Times at Ridgemont?
real quick, you need a
are
woman,
sick.
Neil. You need a woman.
You are just
That's
like,
actually what needs to happen. You're right.
yeah.
But we'll talk about it off air, definitely. No. But Gizmo, real quick, little bit of trivia. You know who voices the character of Gizmo?
No.
Howie Mandel. He
Oh,
does.
yeah, that
right.
makes sense.
All of the
Life
sound-
with Howie, they did that
I've read
animated
that, yeah.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby's World.
Or Bobby's World.
Bobby's
yeah.
World, yeah. But so he does.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but he does all those sounds and all that little language
Yeah.
he speaks. That's Howie Mandel doing that. And he was just a stand-up comedian at the time. But Gremlins, yeah, that whole set of rules. Don't
Yeah.
feed them after midnight, which is like
Don't get them wet.
every time is after midnight. When does
Yeah.
it end? Because they don't say don't feed them between midnight and 6 a.m. or midnight and sunrise. They just
They feed
say
'em after
don't do it
midnight.
after midnight. Well, noon the next day or 3 p.m. the next day is still after midnight from the day before. So what the fuck are you talking about? Anyways,
kind of confused their
so
eating cycle.
and if you get water on them, they end up multiplying, and that's the thing. Gizmo
Yeah.
gets water on him, and he ends up multiplying, and then
yeah.
you get all those other ones, and then they're kind of mean. Gizmo's not a bad guy. They're kind of pieces of shit.
Yeah.
They dig into all that stuff. They break out and they eat all that food after midnight,
Yeah.
and he goes.
Did they kill anybody in those? I can't remember.
Yes, they definitely
Oh
kill
my
people.
gosh,
It's
yeah, they
it's
killed
dark.
tons.
It's like
It's
the
very dark
monkeys in Jumanji. Like they're not. There's no sort
Yeah.
But I
of.
feel like they didn't kill anybody.
they did.
They
Oh my
definitely did.
god!
It's
in Jumanji?
They would have. Like they were throwing knives at them. That's what I'm just saying. They were like
Yeah.
evil in
It's
that
just
way.
monkeys being monkeys.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. No, but in Gremlins, there's definitely there's mayhem and
Yeah.
there's death. There's death in it.
Okay.
It's actually a dark movie. It really
Remember
is dark.
his Volkswagen Beetle?
Yeah.
Was it green? Was it green? I think it was green.
Was it green or tan?
I think
Yeah,
green or
maybe it was
tan or
green,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But that's Gremlins. So what's the other movie, Neil?
I don't know if you guys have seen this. It is called The Apartment. with
The Apartment. I know this.
The Apartment with Jack Lemmon and
Oh yeah, it's an older school. What's her face?
It's like
Shirley
1980s?
MacLaine.
yeah, it's
Shirley MacLaine, right?
Billy Wilder. Yeah, Shirley MacLaine.
MacLaine, yeah.
it was
Is it in the
her
80s?
first film, I think. No, it came out in the
60s, 50s,
or
60s,
something.
50s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking.
I completely
Joe's
forgot this.
Apartment.
No, that came out in that. No, I'm thinking another film. I forgot.
It's actually a really
Is it
dark
is
concept,
Christmas
but
in
it's
that?
not. The entire film takes place during
Oh,
Christmas.
geez,
It's an
I-
office Christmas party.
Yeah, okay.
These two people work together. It's a really dark movie, but when you watch the movie, it has such a light tone to it
Yeah.
that you don't realize how dark and shitty the situation is.
Right.
But like Jack Lemmon's this guy who's like just hates his job and like he's upset. He's into this chick who's like runs the elevator. I guess they had elevator people or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they would run people up and down the elevator.
Till they realize that like you don't need to pay somebody to fucking get you up and down an elevator.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess they reached some point where it was all automated. They didn't need someone to press the button.
Yeah.
But so then he finds out. Anyway, he ends up like starting to like talk to her or stuff or whatever. He had like bumped into her and then he kind of tries to start something with her and then he slowly finds out that she's actually having an affair with his boss, who's like this married guy who's like a piece of shit. And then she comes over to his apartment, I think Christmas Eve or something. It's really dark.
Yeah.
And she's like suicidal or something.
Yeah.
And he basically like stays with her and helps her through this whole horrible thing. And like even talks to the boss and does all this stuff. And it like basically changes his life because the whole time he's kind of like this selfish guy who's like, my life shits, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But then he was able to put his, help this other person.
Yeah.
And it kind of like pops him out of his funk.
Right, to help somebody else.
But it's dark.
Yeah.
It's a dark ass movie, but it has a lot of humorous moments and the acting is fantastic. They're both really, really
Jack
good.
Lemmon he was one of the greats. I
Yeah,
fucking
even
love
Shirley
him.
MacLaine
Shirley
was
MacLaine, yeah.
amazing and
Warren
gorgeous,
Warren
yeah.
Beatty's sister.
Yeah, Warren Beatty's sister, yeah.
Yeah, no, that movie, I saw it a while ago.
I don't think of it as a Christmas movie, but I hadn't never seen it before until a couple years ago, and I just completely forgot. It takes place. The entire film takes place during Christmas.
Yeah, God, some of these classic films, it's
Billy Wilder.
Billy Wilder, yeah, he was fantastic. I just watched. This is totally off subject, real quick.
Some Like It Hot.
Yeah, something like
Sunset
Hot.
Boulevard.
Yeah, I just watched Sunset Boulevard. That's right. I just watched On the Waterfront the other day. Marlon
Stella!
Brando. No, that's
that not Stella?
that's Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh.
No, On the Waterfront is
Man, I'm like all over the
I know.
place.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
On the Waterfront is
just
I
focused
could have
on
been a
getting
contender.
You just focus on derailing Nick.
Now, on the Waterfront is I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am.
Oh.
That's that whole
Yeah.
one. Anyways, it was great. I hadn't seen it in a long time. But some of those classic, just older school.
Is that
films.
Marlon Brando?
Yeah, Marlon Brando.
Okay. At least I got that right.
You did, yeah. No. It's if you don't really know them well enough, like you could mix.
Yeah,
those
some of
two.
these older films I've seen like one time.
Yes, I
mainly
know.
because I'm like it's just a classic and I
Gotta watch it, yeah.
I felt
Do you
like I
guys
had to see
remember
it.
Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Silent
I've
Night,
seen that.
Deadly Night?
I have
Yeah.
seen that.
No.
Silent Night.
There's a
Deadly
2014
Night.
Silent Night or 2004 Silent Night, but there's the 1985 Silent Night, Deadly Night, which was like,
Is it horror?
yeah, it's about this guy dressed as Santa goes around killing people.
Jesus.
Definitely
Yeah.
horror.
There's also Santa's Sleigh.
Oh, God.
SLAY. That is a horror
There's
film.
a lot
There's
of-
a handful of horror movies that have been coming out on Christmas.
I think there, like for B-rated films, there's
Yeah.
a lot of like creepy holiday films, like
Yeah.
Santa's Sleigh, Santa's Claus.
Santa's
Oh, yeah,
Claus.
Santa's
yeah.
Claus, yeah.
Speaking of this trend, there's a film that I ended up watching last year on Christmas Eve, actually, with my brother-in-law called Krampus.
Yes.
It was the. It's actually there's a whole bunch of films based on this. It's like
It's like a real
yeah.
mythology or something.
I don't know
about
if
this?
it's based on real mythology or not, but it's some sort of like Polish or Eastern European like myth or something
Yeah.
of this like kind of anti-Santa that would come, and he's like a creature. He's not like the devil,
Right.
but he's like an anti. He's like the opposite. If Santa's Santa, this would be like the opposite spectrum Santa.
Okay. He
So-
does the opposite of Santa. Instead of giving you presents, he takes
your soul. Or
yeah, takes your
kind of
life.
like the devil, I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, it had Tony Collette was in it. Adam Scott is in it. David
I had
Kocher.
no idea that these guys were in it.
Oh yeah. No, it was like it's like a big film. Like Alison Tolman, who was in Fargo,
Yeah.
the TV series, is in it. It has a fantastic cast. It's weird. It's like a black comedy. It's very humorous, but it's I mean, the film takes place during Christmas Eve.
Okay.
The entire film takes place during Christmas Eve. And it's almost like a roller coaster of like comedy and drama and comedy and drama. It's like horror movie, but also there's humorous elements. And then it's super horror and you're disturbed, and then it's like funny.
Right.
So you're like kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. But it was good. It's really good. It's definitely a different film.
I've been hearing about it for a couple years now.
It came out 2 years ago, right?
Came out 2015, yeah.
2015,
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about it and I wanted to see it, but I never got a chance to watch it.
It's like, I was just surprised because, I think, it's a monster Christmas movie. I was thinking it was going to be kind of like a hokey B movie. And the production value it's really well directed. The opening of the film, it's almost like it is like a black comedy. So the opening of the film is just this slow motion. They're singing like it's like Frank Sinatra singing a Christmas song. I forget what song it is, but the song is playing, and it's like a Walmart, and it's Black Friday.
Yeah.
So everybody's like smashing the doors open. It's like this entire rush of like hundreds of people kicking the doors open, and people just like shoving each other on the floor and knocking each other over and fighting over stuff to buy. This is how the film starts.
Yeah.
So you kind of get a sense of like the humor of the film. It's like, and the whole first like 5 minutes is just this like all these people fighting over Xboxes and like, Tickle Me Elmos or whatever the hell is hot, I don't know, for Christmas, which I thought was a great way to open that, because Krampus comes when someone doesn't believe in the spirit of Christmas.
Because that whole Black Friday,
hilarious.
the Black Friday rush that would occur
is like the opposite of Christmas.
It's very
anti-Christmas.
Do you remember that Tickle Me Elmo? How like people went crazy for that thing.
Remember the N64 when that came out? People were like shooting each other for N64s.
It's crazy. That movie's so solid though.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
Yeah, it is really good. It is really good. I mean, it's dark, but
I heard great things about it. So
yeah, I gotta watch it. Another movie I was just thinking of is Money Train.
Money Train.
So Money Train. If you're a fan of White Man Can't Jump. Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. Those guys have great chemistry. They did White Man Can't Jump, and then a couple years later, 3 years later, they did Money Train, which takes place in New York during the Christmas holidays.
They were brothers.
They're foster brothers. One of them, basically, Wesley Snipes and his family took in Woody Harrelson when he was really little because he was like digging into garbage cans behind their house. So they took him in and they adopted him and they became brothers. One's black, one's white, so people never believe them when they say they're brothers. But now they're New York City cops, so they're Metro cops.
That was that was Jennifer
Lopez. One of her first. It may have been her first film.
I think it was her first.
Film. She just come off being a fly girl on In Living Color.
In Living Color.
But she's great in the film.
She's incredible.
She's beautiful in it too. But it's in New York, and it's just. Yeah, but they play. God damn it, Neil!
I didn't say anything.
Right. They are. There's a scene, but they play Metro cops. You fucking.
I did it. It works.
So it's a really funny movie. It's like an action comedy. They play Metro cops, and they basically sometimes have to guard this money train, and it's a single card train that goes through and collects all the money from the different stations. Right? So at any one time, it can have a lot of money in it.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so I like there's a later scene where Woody Harrelson wants to knock it over and rob it and shit like that. So it kind of gets crazy. Yeah. But there's also this other element. It's funny because it's not your usual film. Which
you're forgetting the best scene of that film when
I haven't forgotten anything. I'm talking.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
The scene where they try to rob him and then they start arguing.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Because I saw that scene being filmed. Is what I was about to say.
I just realized another film that we haven't talked about.
Neil doesn't listen. He just researches and talks about his own movies.
There's so many unconventional films. Yeah.
Well, let me finish with Money Train real quick. So, you had Chris Cooper, which is a great actor, plays a guy who goes and he robs these individual token booths. By lighting it up with gasoline and basically threatening him with a lighter and saying, give me the money or I'm going to set you on fire. And then he sets him on fire anyways. He's crazy. But it's a great film. The comedy is amazing. The chemistry between these two guys. But it absolutely takes place during the holiday season. And there's a scene where they're arguing. It's Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. They're arguing in the street. And he goes, the things they're saying are hilarious. He goes, well, it's always got to be you. It's always got to be about you. You were always her favorite. He goes, what are you talking about? We're robbing you here. No, they haven't even come out yet.
Oh,
they're
that's
just
right,
arguing. And they're like, he goes, I wear your shoes, you wear my. It's this whole fucking stupid argument, and he goes, that's right, your ceiling is always my floor, or my ceiling is always your floor. And he goes, you don't like it, get out the fucking building. Yeah. Anyways, and they're arguing, and all of a sudden,
get out the motherfucking building.
These three guys come over, and they have fucking guns on them. They're like, we're robbing you, give us your shit. They go, what? They go, give us your shit. He goes, God damn it, and then they pull out their guns.
No, they don't. They go, see what you did, and they just start arguing.
No, they pull out their guns. And they put it on them. No, dude, I literally watched this movie 4 days ago. I've seen this movie.
We're looking at each other. That's why he's responding so fast.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen this movie so many times. They pull out guns on them, and so that all of them have guns on each other, right? And then they get in an argument, and then they keep arguing. Like, see what you keep getting us into? God damn it!
And then they put the guns on each other.
It's not my fault. It's your fault. And they put the guns on each other.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, and the guys are like, "What the dude? We're robbing you! Give us your shit! What the fuck?" And he goes, "No, I'll get your shoes. I'll get him your shoes for you." Anyways, and then they go, "Fuck this," and they run off into this park with this big Christmas tree, and they get the fuck out of there. And they start laughing. Real quick, I lived right around the block from that. And I remember when they had the street blocked up and they were filming that scene, and that park they run into, which they make seem like a Central Park, kind of a big park, they escaped into a park that ends about 50 feet in. You can't get past it. So they ran nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They had it all like dimly lit, and they put a Christmas tree, which the Christmas tree was never there during the Christmas season. That was my park. I went to that park nearly every fucking day.
Yeah.
It literally ends, there's a little small playground, then there's a basketball court, and then there's a high fence about fucking 50 feet up.
Yeah.
And you can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go. So like they made it seem like they escaped into some large park. Like, you're going nowhere.
It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood thing.
They just make shit up.
Yeah.
I got one that was actually fucking hilarious. Billy Bob Thornton's Bad Santa.
Very dark
Bad
movie.
Santa.
Yeah.
Bad. Funny. Funny.
It was funny.
It was
yeah.
funny. He's a piece of shit in that movie.
He was an asshole in that
Kind of
movie.
redeems himself, but like, still a piece of shit.
He really doesn't.
He's a fantastic.
He really does,
he does a great portrayal of like a genuine alcoholic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
really is.
when I watched that film. I thought to myself, like, this is somebody who is like as a genuine, almost like
He's on the last
real portrayal.
Yeah, he's on the last rung. He's like an alcoholic on the last rung of the ladder.
It had like elements in a weird way. It has elements of like leaving Las Vegas almost.
Yeah,
but he's not that bad. He's not that bad.
He's
but it's like,
but he's completely
almost
given
that
up.
bad.
Like he's gotten to the point where he's pissing on himself.
he's
he
like
doesn't care if he
garbage.
gets caught doing like because he basically is involved in this scam with this little person. Every year, the little person will be his elf. He'll be a Santa, and after closing on like the last day,
They rob them all.
They rob them all at their department store Santa. And they rob it, and that's kind of their thing. They do that every year. They go to a different town in a different state, and they do that. And then he ends up befriending this weird kid in the movie.
That's
And
a funny
it's good, yeah.
relationship.
He kind of redeems himself a little bit, but at the same time, he's still, piece of shit.
Neil's
it
got
doesn't
one.
particularly end like super great, but he becomes you get the feeling he becomes less of a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a little
By
happier.
a quarter.
Yeah.
You got one that I have it on Blu-ray, but
I know. It didn't occur to me.
didn't
But
even blow up.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
Tim
very
Burton,
Christmas
man, puts
movie,
a lot
yeah.
of Christmas stuff in his
Yeah.
movies, even
Yeah,
Nightmare Before
and we didn't
Christmas.
mention Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. That's all. People always toss up, is that a Halloween movie? Is that a Christmas movie? I'm like, I say, can't it be both?
It is very
It's kind of
yeah.
both.
It
Did you
is
do
basically
that one more
both.
time?
Yeah, and I say, can't it be both?
Oh, but like the way there's so like for some reason that music I always associate that music that Danny Elfman scored to Edward Scissorhands with like a Christmas. No. It's like the if you heard it, you would recognize. It's specific to this movie.
From
It's not-
Edward Scissorhands or
from
Nightmare
Edward
Before-
Scissorhands.
Oh, I thought you meant Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare
This is
Before
Halloween.
Christmas.
This is Halloween.
Yeah, but that's that
Yeah.
does have a mixture of Halloween
What's
and
this?
Christmassy
What's this?
music.
There's
Yeah,
magic
what's
everywhere.
this is
Yeah.
a definitely. I
What's
listen
this?
to that every
There's
year
magic
for Christmas.
everywhere. I sing
Yeah.
it to Frankie like almost every night.
Yeah.
That's
this?
I used
What's
to.
this?
With
Yeah.
magic in the air. What's this? What's this?
That's great.
There's magic everywhere.
But,
But Edward Scissorhands,
Yeah.
that's true. That is Christmas, actually. Yeah.
And I love how that movie transitions like at the end. I mean, it's such a surreal film in many ways because their reaction, the people don't seem real.
Yeah.
Like the people that are supposed to be normal people seem like some Twilight Zone people.
It was like you're watching a play. It was like
Yeah,
you're,
like
it's like you're
Stepford,
watching the Nutcracker on the stage.
Yeah.
That's what the whole film.
Yeah.
feels like.
It's like almost
really-
like
yeah.
like Pleasantville or something.
Yeah.
Like their reaction to everything, and it's almost like this. Like they're stuck in the 1960s, but it's present day.
Tim Burton never creates
So surreal.
a generic anything. He
No.
always creates creates it in his own mind of how he wants the characters to act, how he wants the town to look, how he wants them to dress. It's never normal. It's a completely different universe. Almost like all his movies take place on a different planet that almost slightly resembles ours.
Yeah, and I love the whole ice sculpture thing. And then at the end, the way it ends with Fiona Ryder is like an old lady talking to her grandchildren.
Winona.
What did I say? Fiona.
You said Fiona.
Winona Ryder, yeah.
This is not Shrek.
Right, Fiona Ryder.
Fiona!
Yeah. I feel like there was a Shrek Christmas thing. Anyway. But, so he's like, at the end of the film, he's like doing the, using his scissor hands to like carve out, what was it,
a sculpture of her, an ice sculpture of her, and she's dancing around it like it's snowing, because they're in like California or something where it doesn't really snow. Are they
don't really say where they are.
Yeah, I guess
because there's a mountain apparently over this community
where he lived.
So at the end of the film, like everyone thinks he's dead, but he didn't die, and so he's like carving these ice sculptures and all that like snow falling, and that's why it snows every year, because he's up there every year doing this,
which is kind of cool, because they didn't have snowfall before that, but the first time she's doing it is when he's carving the sculpture and she's underneath. She has that white dress on and she starts dancing and twirling. It's a beautiful scene that ends kind of like dark, because he doesn't realize she's there. He turns around, she goes up to reach to him, and he accidentally cuts her because he's got scissor hands and he didn't know she was there. He turns around, and then Anthony Michael Hall's character, which is like her boyfriend, sees it and freaks out and fucking like kicks him out of the town.
Then it was like some weird scene where Edward tries to save this little boy that they're like drunk. He's like drunk driving his van. He's gonna almost hit the brother or something, the little brother, and then he like jumps and pushes him out of the way, but his hands are like knives.
So anytime
he like stabs him accidentally, and it's like an accident. They're like, you stabbed blah blah blah.
But he saved his life. I love that theme of the movie. That movie is
like
very
miscommunication. The whole thing. It's Edward's fault because he can't communicate.
No,
properly.
he's very awkward because he's never been around people. But I love that movie is just. It's like if Frankenstein had a chance to like live amongst people for a while, that's kind of like what Edward Scissorhands is, because he never actually is accepted at any point. But in Edward Scissorhands, he's accepted at one point, but at the same time, he never fully adapts, and he's got these scissors for hands. He doesn't have real hands. And so he can't fully engage with people. When he tries to, when he has good intentions, it goes awry, and he's like a child. He plays it very much like an innocent child who just doesn't know any better. And he's trying to, adapt.
It gets dark at the end, actually.
Yeah, it does.
It's all coming back to me.
It does. But it is very much a Christmassy movie. I love that whole concept of, like, the reason why it snows every year now is because he's up there carving up those ice sculptures with his hands. And he does it so fast, and there's so much that it ends up flowing down to the town. And
where it carries all the snowflakes.
It is the reason why it snows every year. What do you mean?
What? That's what I just... Oh, you mean in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay. All right. Whatever, dude. Whatever.
Fuck you.
Whatever. Anyways.
Die Hard. Go watch Die Hard.
We talked about that was the first.
Neil, we talked about it.
Neil, where are you?
So we covered some films here. We got Lethal Weapon. We got Die Hard. We have Gremlins. We had Krampus.
There's
we
a
had
lot of
Kiss
films.
Kiss Bang Bang. We had Batman Returns. We had Edward Scissorhands. Money Train. There's plenty of good movies out there that if you're looking for something different, because you might go, hey, I've seen these other Christmas movies a number of times. I, for one, never get sick of the classics, Scrooged, Christmas Vacation, Love Actually. I never get tired of those movies, but at the same time, you might, Home Alone, you might want something different. If you want something different, these are the films for you.
This might be I consider it a Christmas film, but maybe some people wouldn't, because it's like a pretty vulgar film, but The Ref.
Yeah, The Ref.
It's kind of
Dennis Leary, Kevin
of
Spacey. Is it Annette Bening?
Annette Bening, Kevin Spacey, and
Dennis Leary,
yeah.
I just saw him live.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, that's a pretty funny movie.
It is. It's a darker movie. It's a black comedy.
It's like a black comedy. Yeah. But it takes place during Christmas.
It feels even more like a Christmas movie than anything else. Than some of these other ones.
It does. It does have like it kind of turns at the end.
It's Christmas themed.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the movies we're talking about aren't Christmas themed. They just have Christmas throughout it.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a lot out there, and I know there's a lot of B-rated films that are coming out, especially for horror. Like there's the Gingerbread Man. I heard that. I just want to see that because it sounds retarded. But I mean, it's I might check this out.
Man. There's been a theme of having horror movies come out on Christmas Day.
Yeah. You can't escape the Gingerbread Man. I feel like that's going to be in the movie somewhere.
That's probably.
I haven't heard of it. I've not seen it. I don't know, but I'm guessing that's in it.
There's elves. There's holidays coming out. I don't know what that is. You said Santa Sleigh. There's Santa Claus with, there's all through the house.
That's awesome.
There's Christmas Evil. oh my gosh, there's so many. I don't
These
know.
are all coming out this
But
year, or
these
are
are
films
films
that,
that I mean, every year's a lot of B-rated films.
Oh, there's
come out.
Elvis, which is
Elvis.
a reimagined film with Elvis as an elf.
Yeah,
I just made that up.
You did.
That's not true.
Yeah, Christmas Evil. So, anywho,
All right.
Well, check out some of these films, guys. I mean, don't just watch some holidays joyful films. Check out something that might change your.
Yeah,
you're feeling a little bit. Trading Places.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Wait,
That's not right.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not right.
Don't pull a Nick and just pay
Money
attention to
Train.
the females.
Yeah.
Money Train, you must watch that. Yeah, don't pull a
Christ.
Nick and just pay attention.
I'm being thrown under a bus here.
Thank you for joining us today. I Get to the Podcast.
Are you waiting for me to say something? You looked at me all expectantly like a puppy waiting for a treat. What do you want?
You wanted to say
You want me
something
to end
real
it?
quick before I ended. No, I thought you looked like for a second you looked like you wanted to say something before I ended.
You're using me as a
emanating.
device to.
I am not. I
Okay,
just
you're
literally-
backpedaling.
So
You're back. You know
Here we
what?
go.
I don't need it. Not today.
Whatever.
Diego, of all
You
days.
should also watch
Just kidding.
Christmas
much-
Story.
God damn it,
Christmas
Neil.
Story.
We're done.
Oh,
we're
are we
done.
Okay.
Neil.
We're done.
All right. Thank you
All
for joining us at Get to the Podcast. I'm Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Ambito.
And I'm Dale Carson.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy freaking holidays.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Do.
What are we
Do 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 do.
Oh, no, it's I don't. You're like, it sounded different when
No,
you
but
did
that's
it.
how you start.
I did. That's exactly what I was just doing.
No, but
Yes,
you're doing
because-
do 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 do. That's not how it goes. It's
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.